Oh, The Cure, DMB Network. Quoting The Cure. Hell yeah, man. Cheers. I'll see you guys in 2.5 minutes.
If one of your childhood heroes were to walk out of your bedroom closet, who would it be? Have a good weekend, guys.
We are go for launch. Good to see everybody. Welcome. It is Friday, 7:48 p.m. here in Florida. And I'm going to be hanging out with you guys for about an hour. What's new? The topic of conversation is nothing. We will talk about anything and everything under the sun that you want to talk about. Open book here. Whatever you guys, whatever's on your mind, Star Wars or not. I poured a 7:45 p.m. Bloody Mary because it's the only thing we got in the house. I got off work this morning, hung out with my daughter all day, and now she's going to bed, and I'm going to be with you guys for the next hour. Yeah, man. Oh, I was going to say something. What was I going to say? I can't remember what I was going to say as soon as I started this. Must have not been important. But, yeah, man, whatever's on your mind, let's shoot the shit. I'll be with you guys for about an hour. I'm currently working on a video about the Ewok movie, The Caravan of Courage. I've never watched it. I'm going to be watching it probably Monday morning and starting that video. I'm kind of going to make it like a mixture of a review and an old school inside Star Wars video. I'm going to ramp up the goofiness. I'm going to include some Jar Binks mask in there. But yeah, anyway, good to see everybody. DMB Network, I liked the Cure reference there. Demetrios, Cole, good to see you. Vince, Mr. Brandon, good to see everybody. Vince says, well, first of all, Vince, thank you so much for the first super chat and channel support of the stream. Vince says, remember in Sandlot, when Babe Ruth steps out of Benny's closet to give him a pep talk. If one of you, I do remember that. What a fantastic movie. I suspect that some people in this chat have not seen it. Watch The Sandlot. It's wonderful. And then watch, Sandlot, Stand By Me, Goonies. They're all close to your heart, right? Vince says, if one of your childhood heroes were to walk out of your bedroom closet, Who would it be? Have a good weekend, guys. Oh my god. That's really, I don't know, man. That's really difficult for me to pick. But that's a fantastic question, Vince. I don't really remember growing up with very many like childhood heroes, like monumental figures that I looked up to. Is that something that you guys had? Like as a kid, I mean, like I liked sports stars, sure. If we're talking sports stars, I would have gone with like maybe Leo Mazzoni's aces, like Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, John Smoltz from the Braves, pitchers in the 90s. If we're talking strictly sports, I'd probably have those three guys come out of my closet and give me a pep talk. I wouldn't call them childhood heroes, though. Like, I didn't look up to them in some kind of, like... I guess in a childhood way, I suppose I did, right? In a childhood, simplistic way, these guys are great pitchers, and I love the Braves, and I like baseball. You know what I mean? So, I guess in the same way that Babe Ruth came out to give him a pep talk, John Smoltz, Tom Glavine, and Greg Maddux would come out and give me a pep talk as well. Yeah, those are like the 90s Braves were my like sports heroes. Yeah, I mean everybody from like Terry Pendleton. I don't. These names are not going to ring a bell unless you're a 90s Braves fan, like Terry Pendleton or Otis Nixon, Fred McGriff. The whole, yeah, everybody on the roster. But anyway, I appreciate that. That's a cool question, though, Vince. I like that. If we're talking strictly sports, yeah, I'd probably have those three guys give me a pep talk. But in reality, like a 10-year-old me would rather have a fictional, like a Han Solo come out and give me a pep talk. You know, I was way more into that. But yeah. Anyway, cheers, man. Have a fantastic weekend, man. Hope you're doing well. Evans Media, Johnson, Oscar, and Ricky, thank you guys so much for the channel support this evening. Let me take a quick sip of this 7:30 p.m. or 7:53 p.m. rather Bloody Mary. Bloody Marys are meant to be had whenever you want a Bloody Mary. I'm a firm believer that a Bloody Mary can be an afternoon or an evening drink as well. I just like spicy stuff. It's fantastic. Evans Media says, having an amazing day. I got to skip school to take my driving test and passed. Congratulations. Nice, man. I'm a hero among my friends now that I'm the first to get their license. There is Evans from the currents of our electronics and our internet. I just want to send a congratulations to you because there's nothing like hitting the open road with your buddies. My buddy Adam was, well, actually my buddy Mac was the first one to get his license out of our core group of friends. And we would stay up all night, even on school nights. We would just drive around, just going to movies, hanging out in parking lots. It's the definition of freedom. Getting your license, driving, having no boundaries, going on your first road trip with your buddies too. That's going to be a monument. Now that you have your license, Evans, that's going to be a monumental event that you will never forget. I still remember my first like major road trip with my best friends. And these guys are still my best friends to this day. In fact, we're going to a cabin together. We're taking a road trip together. There's 7 of us. We get together every year and we rent a cabin. And we drive to the cabin. So some people have to fly. There's 7 of us. Some people have to fly because they've moved. But we get a cabin every year and we hang out. We've known each other since we were like 13 years old. We're all in our late 30s now. But these guys are the same guys that I took my first road trip with when I was 16. And then we went on a bunch of road trips after that. We went to Philly, we went to New York, we went to Delaware, just all over the place. And there's nothing like it, man. So, congratulations. Be safe, of course. Wear your goddamn seatbelt. I don't let anybody in my car without a seatbelt, and you shouldn't too. I don't want to preach about the things that I've seen, but if it saves you a trip to the emergency room or worse, wear your seatbelt. I know you're not dumb, Evans. You're gonna wear your seatbelt without me preaching it to you, but please do. But anyway, cheers, Evans. Congratulations. I'm excited for you, man. Hit the open road. Pick a destination. Pick something. I mean, I don't know how your family is or your friend's family, but I don't know what your situation is. But pick a destination, near or far, that you guys can drive to. Play some music. Tap your toes on the dash and just go. You know, go camping. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. Pick a destination and get there and have your first little buddy road trip. You'll never forget it. But anyway, Evans, cheers, man. I appreciate that, and congratulations once again. I feel like I rambled a lot there, but it's near and dear to my heart. I love that stuff. Because it's more than just getting a license when you're that age. It's about your first taste of freedom. Yeah, it's big shit. But cheers, man. Johnson, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well. Johnson says, a pregnant woman swimming is a human submarine. That needs to be a lyric. I'm gonna Google this. Has this thought? Yep. Okay. So this thought has been a thought on the internet before. When a pregnant woman swims, she is a human submarine. That's a fun thought. That thought on Reddit has 12,000 upvotes. Is that what they call them on Reddit? Upvotes. That's a fun thought. I like that. Cheers, Johnson. I don't know what else to say, man. That's just some good, goofy, stupid shit. And you guys know me. I like good, fun, goofy shit. But cheers. Oscar Rodriguez and Ricky, thank you guys as well for the super chats. Don't worry, I'm not smart enough to come up with that myself. I feel you, Johnson. You're good. I like it. It's a fun thought. Oscar says, if JJB returned, how could they do it tastefully? JJB. Oh, Jar Binks. How could they do it tastefully? Oh my God. I don't even know, man. So, Jar Binks he doesn't have... Is there any... I'm trying to think. Is there any, like, canon stories of him post Revenge of the Sith? There has to be, right? Somebody in the chat will know. I don't think I know of any post Revenge of the Sith Jar Binks canon stories. What would he even be up to during the Empire? Would he... I feel like he would kind of fall in line. Do you think he would fall in line and just kind of join the Empire? I feel like he would just go... He doesn't seem like the rebellious type. He seems like a kind of a quiet pushover. Just kind of goes with the flow. Wait, get out of here. He's in Aftermath? Aftermath has him being a recluse as he was kicked out of Otagunga for giving Palpatine emergency powers. Oh, man. Bad Star Wars fan. Bad Star Wars fan. I think in canon he's hated after the Empire due to giving power to the Emperor. Interesting. I never knew this. I had no idea that he was in Aftermath or mentioned in Aftermath. Oh, man. So, that's interesting. Okay. I don't know. How could they do it tastefully? I don't know. Just he could just. First of all, I would not want him to return. Not because I don't like the character or anything like that. Just because I'm kind of sick of cameos. Like, I know everybody loves the Zeb cameo. It's cool. He looks amazing. I'm not all caught up with the Mandalorian, but it's impossible to avoid spoilers. You know, when you're a Star Wars YouTuber on Twitter and stuff like that. It's my own fault. I don't really care anyway. But like, I'm kind of sick of cameos and all that stuff. So throwing in a Jar Jar cameo or a Jar Jar like story or whatever, I just wouldn't be able to get behind it. Again, not because of the character or anything, just because I'm sick of overall seeing familiar things. I want new stuff. But I don't know. Maybe he has some tiny role in the New Republic. Because, golly, I don't even know. So, like, during the time of the Empire or during the time of the New Republic, does anybody know who he is? Like Padme's gone. Anakin's gone. Obi-Wan's gone. Like, Qui-Gon's gone. Everybody that he interacted with is gone. And is anybody going to trust him as a diplomat? I don't know. There's a cameo showing of Jar Jar in one of the first new canon books. I think it was the first one. Yeah, somebody mentioned Aftermath. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. I don't know. But Oscar, I talked to my wife recently and I was like, you know what? I mentioned the Jar Jar Binks live stream that I've always wanted to do. And she said, why don't you just do it? And yeah, she's right. Why don't I just do it? I have a Jar Jar Binks mask. And I've always wanted to put my Jar Jar Binks mask on and do a live stream. Did I turn the music down? Can you guys hear me? Oh, I did. Okay, good. I thought the music was still blaring. I've always wanted to put my Jar Jar mask on and have my webcam pointing at me and do like an actual live like webcam masked stream and talk like Jar Jar Binks. I've always wanted to. I think it would be kind of miserable to do that for an hour, but it'd be kind of fun because, you know, you also say, oh, I butchered it. Mr. Jar Jar Binks, you also say people gonna die? I can kind of do a Jar Jar impression. For an hour? I don't know if I could do it for an hour. We'll see. Anyway, Oscar, I appreciate it, man. Ricky Dicky Doo Grimes, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Ricky says, childhood hero would definitely be Rocky. Dude came from nothing and beat all the odds that were against him. Yeah, that's a that's a good fictional childhood hero for sure. You know, what's funny, Ricky, is I've only seen, the very first Rocky movie. I've never seen any of the other Rocky movies. I've seen like bits and pieces of the one where he fights Drago. Is that his name? Is that the fourth or the fifth one? But other than that, I've never seen any other Rocky movie. Other than the first one, I've never seen any other Rocky movie, or I haven't seen any of the Creed movies. Do you guys think I'm missing out? I think the first Rocky is just such a solid. It's like barely about boxing. That's what's great about it. You know, you have like it's like war movies, right? The best war movies are rarely about the action and the blow 'em up and the shoot 'em up and stuff like that. It's about the characters. It's about the struggle. And that's what Rocky was about. It was barely about boxing. It was about the struggle. It was about the character. It was about, you know, the life. That's why it's so memorable. You know, the reason Jaws is memorable, it's not because of like crazy. It's not like Sharknado. It's not because of the shark. It's because of the characters. It's because of the story. It's because of the atmosphere, you know. That's why the first Jurassic Park is going to stand the test of time. It's so memorable. It's about the characters. It's about the struggle. It's about the atmosphere. It's not about genetically engineered dinosaurs running through everything and being super crazy creatures. I don't know. That's just me. But anyway, Ricky, I appreciate that, man. Sauron Baggins, thank you so much for the silent super chat, the silent support there. I don't know if you meant to type a message in there, but I don't see one. If you did, I'm going to keep an eye on the chat. And read it off. But dude, Sauron, thank you so much for the silent support there. I greatly appreciate it. Nonetheless, cheers, man. Sarah Heat, thank you so much for the generous super chat and channel support this Friday evening. What time is it where everybody is? Is everybody? I'm guessing most people here are either from the UK or the East Coast. That's my guess. It'd be kind of late for the UK folks. What, like London right now would be 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. Be 1 in the morning, I think, right? Still some night owls out there. Yeah. Sarah, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Sarah says, do you think that in the episode of The Mandalorian where they go to the droid bar, they'll meet Master Kelleran's old droid friend? Grogu sees an old friend in the past will be seen again. Grogu sees an old friend. A droid bar. Droid. So, Season 3 droid bar is secretly... Hold on one sec. So, okay. So, Sarah, you'll have to forgive me because I'm behind on The Mandalorian. I haven't watched the past 2 episodes. The last episode that I watched was the one with the doctor, where he's kind of like in that rehabilitation camp or whatever. I work a lot and I don't really have time to watch stuff, and it's hard for, and I watch my daughter when my wife's at work, so like it's really hard for me to squeeze in stuff. I'm trying to catch up. So I just Googled Mandalorian droid bar, and it said the Mandalorian season 3 droid bar is secretly terrible for Din. Droid bar. Din is headed to an all-droid bar in Mandalorian Season 3, and some of the patrons may bring back his most painful memories. Oh, like the what are those, B-1 battle droids? Is that what those guys are? Is this a trailer for... The trailer for Mandalorian Season 3 shows a droid bar, notably filled with several B-1 series battle droids. Yeah, B-1s, okay. The B-1 series isn't the same model that killed Din's family. Those are beefier B-2 super battle droids, but the connection between the two won't be lost on him. By entering the bar, Din will remember why he hated droids in the first place. How he reacts seeing separatist battle droids after so many years will reveal how far he's come in overcoming his hatred. Interesting. Interesting, Sarah. I'm sure that will definitely come into play. I highly doubt he'll stand by idly, or maybe he'll clench his jaw, clench his fist, and You know, not want to be seen and just pass on through. Kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Tamper down his anger and his memories and stuff like that. I suspect that's the case, but interesting. You think Grogu will see an old friend and the past will be seen again? I kind of suspect that Grogu is kind of a clean slate. I think he was I don't know. I feel like maybe he was too young before Din came around and all that stuff to, well, he said he's 50 years old. Who knows? An old friend. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of him being a clean slate. Like a baby with no memories prior to a certain point, you know. Maybe he won't recognize someone, but maybe someone will recognize him, you know? Possible. The droid bar was only hinted in trailers, and it hasn't happened yet. I appreciate that, Brock. Interesting. I don't remember seeing that in a trailer, but that's kind of cool. That's something to look forward to. Something a little different. A droid bar. I see a screenshot of that in the trailer. That's a funky, fun idea. Anyway, Sarah, I appreciate that. Opening up, making me go down a little rabbit hole of something that I didn't remember seeing in a trailer that hasn't happened yet in the show. I need to catch up, man. Yeah, like I said, it's hard for me to find the time to get around to watching a lot of the stuff. Like, I haven't watched a single episode of The Bad Batch, man, and I'm 2 episodes behind with The Mandalorian. I'll probably catch up this upcoming week with it. I work, like I said, work a lot. When I'm home, I'm watching my daughter when my wife's at work. My schedule is really funky. The firefighter schedule is... It's 20. I work 24. You know, I work 24 hours straight, and then, like I said, when I come, like right when I come home in the morning, like today, this morning, I got off shift. I got home at like 8:30 in the morning, and then my wife turns around and she hops in the car and she goes to work, and I watch my daughter all day. So that's kind of how it goes. And you know, my daughter would not let me sit down and watch The Mandalorian. All she wants to do is play, understandably. And I'm gonna play with her rather than watching a show. But you know, I'll catch up. I'll try to catch up this week for sure. But
is it just me, or have I been finding the non-Mandalorian stuff and subplots in Mando S3 more interesting and engaging than the Mandalorian / Children of the Watch plot, if you could even call it that? That's why E3 is my fav.
Mr. Nick, Darth Nicholas, good to see you, man. Thank you so much for the ridiculously generous super chat and channel support this evening. Give me 1 sec, man. I got French Canadian Wolfman, Brock Johnson, Super Michael 98. Oh, Super Michael, good to see you, man. I feel like it's been a while. And Mr. Nick. Wolfman says, following the Battle of Endor, Binks was cast out by the Gungans and ostracized by the Naboo. Homeless, Binks found work in Feed as a clown and street performer. Star Wars Wiki. No shit. That is a video I need to make. That is a video I need to make, Mr. Wolfman. And I will give credit where credit is due for you spurring the idea for me to make a video about that. I'm sure there's 1,000 other videos about Jar Jar Binks post Revenge of the Sith, Battle of Endor, leading into the sequel trilogy. I'm sure a bunch of people have already done that, but guess what they haven't done? They haven't done that video in a Jar Jar Binks mask. Or a Jar Jar Binks voice.
Mr. Jar Jar Binks, you used to say people gonna die? Okay day.
I'm planning on doing that shit, Wolfman. Anyway, thanks. I'm gonna keep this Star Wars wiki page up. Just so I don't forget. So I'm gonna read this little blurb. It says, because of his role in abetting the rise of the Empire, Binks was once again exiled by his people. After the Battle of Endor and the rise of the New Republic, he performed in the streets of Theed as a clown who was popular with children, but not so much with their parents. Oh, how fucking meta. Oh my god, that is funny. Interesting. Alright, that's a video, man. That's a video. Cheers. I appreciate that, Wolfman. Your you meant to say Jar Jar. Your Jar Jar impression is really awesome. Thanks, man. I think I can say about 3 sentences. I don't know if I could say anything else. Like,
Mr. Jar Jar Binks, you used to say people gonna die? Okie day. This Bloody Mary is muy good. Misa gotta take a bigger fat shit.
I guess I could do it for an hour. I could do it for an hour. Coming soon, the Jar Jar Binks live stream. Anyway, Brock Lynch, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. The Jar Jar talk reminded me of your video when you fried him on the barbecue. Nostalgic. Yeah, what? That was a long time ago. That was probably... If I had to guess, Brock, that was probably 2014. Not 2013, maybe. 2014, 2013. Maybe earlier than that. Yeah. Yeah, good times. Those videos were a lot of fun to make. I really miss making those videos, those inside Star Wars videos, because they were so goofy, and that was when I was really I had a lot of fun with the green screen, because I had just got the green screen. So I would like green screen myself into the movies and just act like an ass and just poke fun and have fun where it was fun. Nearly a decade or more. Been watching for a while. Yeah, Brock, for sure. It had that burn motherfucker burn song on, or whatever it was. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's funny, Brock. I remember the when I did that, because I ordered like a $2 Jar Jar Binks action figure off of eBay, and then when it came, I pulled out like this grill that I used to use for tailgating at Jaguar football games, and it was, I don't know, it was like 10 in the morning, and I pulled it outside of me and my wife's apartment, and anybody that was like looking out their apartment window at me was probably like, what the hell is this guy doing? Because they saw me take a Jar Jar Binks a piece of plastic, and put it on a really nice grill, a Coleman grill, and melt plastic on this grill. Why? They must have been like, what is this idiot doing? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what that idiot was doing. I don't know. Still don't know. But it was fun. Anyway. I appreciate it, Brock. Yeah, I need to go back and watch some of those old videos. I still love, one of my favorite things I've ever done is the Inside Revenge of the Sith video, where I filmed myself as me and then as Jar Jar. And I had that gun battle in our house at the time. I'm sure you've seen that one too. That was like one of my favorite things that I filmed ever. Not because I thought it was funny or anything, just because it was so much fun to make. Like, I dressed up as Greedo and myself. I had to film both parts, splice them together. I had visual effects in there. It was just fun to make. It was fun. Yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Brock. Thanks for the memories, man. Oh yeah, Order 66 band. Goodness gracious, guys. I miss making goofy stuff like that. I wish I had more time to make goofy stuff like that, but yeah, hopefully one day soon. The problem is, like, back then, and it's not a problem, just life is different, right? Back then, when I made that video almost 10 years ago, you know, no kid. I had a really, I guess a really flexible job at the time. I might have been in between jobs, actually. I didn't have the career that I have now. Life was just different, so I could devote a lot of time in one day for a video like that. And that video might have taken me like a few weeks to make once I got all the ideas written down. These days, it would probably take me months, because I probably get like 6 hours to myself a week at best, which isn't much when you're working on a video like that, you know? So it would take me a long time. Oh yeah. Anyway. Thanks for the memories, guys. Johnson, Super Michael, Nick, and Oscar and Nick. Thank you guys all so much for the generous super chats this Friday night. Johnson says it's 2:07 a.m. So yeah, you're over in the UK somewhere. Yeah. Thanks for go to bed, man. I'm not gonna say anything of importance that you need to hear. Rest your weary head on the pillow, my friend, and go into dreamland. And wake up, unless you have nothing to do tomorrow. It is Saturday, I guess. You could sleep till whenever, unless you have obligations. I made the mistake of, my wife was out of town with her stepmom a couple weeks ago. She was out of town with her stepmom, and I was with my daughter, just me and my daughter, and I made the mistake of like staying up till like 2:33 in the morning all by myself and just like, I'm gonna watch whatever I want, I'm gonna play some video games, I'm just gonna bullshit, have some beers. And then my daughter woke up at like 6 in the morning and I was like, no. Yeah. No, anyway. Denmark. Oh, nice, man. But close. Denmark. Is that offensive? I said UK. I'm just a simple, dumb American, my friend. Forgive me. But I appreciate that, man. Probably the avatar should have given it away, huh? Super Michael 98. Thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. What's your favorite boxing movie? You know, that's a genre that I don't really... I'm going to have to look this up. Boxing... Raging Bull, maybe? Boxing movies. Oh, The Fighter was great. The Fighter was great. What's the one with... what's his name? Jake Gyllenhaal. What's that one called? What is that one called? Oh, Southpaw. I thought Southpaw was pretty good from what I remember. Can I pick a favorite though? I don't know. I'm looking at a list right now. Oh, Snatch. Yeah, Snatch is a boxing movie. Snatch is a boxing movie. Dude, I forgot about Snatch. Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. So I'm looking at a list of boxing movies, okay? And I have not seen any of the Creed movies. I've never even heard of Bleed for this. The Fighter, I've seen The Fighter. I've never seen Rocky Balboa. The only Rocky movie I've ever seen is the first one. I saw Raging Bull when I was a kid. It's one of those instances where, like, you know you've seen it, you know, but you have no memory of it really. Like, you know, you kind of remember watching it more than you actually remember the movie. Never seen Real Steel. Oh, that's like a robot thing. Never heard of The Bleeder. I don't know if I've ever seen Cinderella. Oh, I've seen Cinderella Man. That was really good. Yeah. I liked Cinderella Man. I've never seen Ali. I've never seen Million Dollar Baby. I've never seen The Survivor. I don't think I've heard of The Survivor. Jungle Land. Never heard of that. Prize Fighter. I don't think I've ever heard of that. So yeah, like... I never heard of Grudge Match. I don't know, man. Out of all, I don't know. The first Rocky's fantastic. And out of everything that I've seen, I would have to say that maybe Snatch. Maybe Snatch is my favorite boxing movie just because I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't even remember it as a boxing movie. But when I was a teenager, I remember I watched Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels all the time. There's a good chance some of you guys have never even heard of the movie. It's a Guy Ritchie movie, and it'll have some familiar faces in there, especially Snatch. But Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels is just it's great. You should watch it. It has Jason Statham in it, and that's when I first saw him. And then Guy Ritchie did Snatch. Both of those movies are fantastic. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Super Michael. Hope you're doing well, man. Makes me want to watch Lock, Stock, and Snatch again. Like, I had a bunch of movies that I watched over and over again when I was in high school. You know, obviously Star Wars. You know, the ones that we all, the Spielbergian movies that we all watched growing up. But then there was also Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. And like, Clockwork Orange was in there as well. Snatch. So, yeah. Anyway. I'm going off on a tangent here. Yeah, go watch Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels if you guys have never seen it or heard of it. It's pretty great. I haven't seen it in, golly, I probably haven't seen it in 15 years, but that's one that I watched constantly. Anyway, Darth Nicholas, thank you so much for coming in with 3 super generous super chats this evening. Nick says, is it just me, or have I been finding the non-Mandalorian stuff and subplots in Mando Season 3 more interesting and engaging than the Mandalorian / Children of the Watch plot, if you could even call it that? That's why Episode 3 is my favorite. So I'm up to Episode 3. And Episode 3, so far what I've seen, I would wholeheartedly agree with you. Episode 3 was my favorite of this new season so far. And again, I'm only up to Episode 3. I really liked that episode with the Doctor. It felt like a departure of the norm. You know, it kind of felt like, in a way, an episode of Andor. More so than the typical episode of The Mandalorian that we get, you know. Look at Uniqueness just said that. Oh, we're on the same brainwave, my friend. Maybe that's why I enjoyed it more. Yeah, so I enjoyed, as you said, that subplot more so than the. I don't know why. I don't know why, Nick, and maybe you'll agree with me. But the Children of the Watch, the Mandalorian lore stuff, like, this is the way. It's never really done anything for me. I don't really get into Mandalorian lore. You know, the keep your helmet on, the whole dark saber and the, you know, fight for conquest, and it's always felt so generic to me. It's always felt like it could be in any other sci-fi or fantasy thing and it would fit right in. Like, I feel like it's just like generic warrior bullshit. And oh, cool, you got to keep your helmet on. Neato, bandito. Like, it's always been a little goofy and boring to me, just because it does feel so generic. So yeah, maybe that's why, as the show moves more and more into looking into Mandalorian lore, maybe that's why it's kind of left me behind over and over, and slowly but surely it's kind of left me behind, you know. But yeah, 100% with you now. I wish Mandalorians were used more sparingly. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you. I don't know, like, everything about him when I see him on screen. I mean, sometimes it's neat, but most of the time it's just, it feels so generic to me, and like, I don't even know. I really don't even know how to explain it. I don't know how to articulate my feelings about it, you know. How do they reproduce? I'm so attracted to your mask. Maybe it's all personality. There you go. It's just all person. They're all just like, they love you for who you are. That's what it is. There's nothing. It doesn't say anything about taking off your armor. You just don't have to take off your mask. You'd be butt ass naked with a mask on. That's how they reproduce, I suppose, Demetrios. a bunch of naked Mandos with helmets on. I'm sure that's out there, right, on the internet. I'm sure that's out there. Somebody has had to Photoshop something. Anyway. Yeah, I'm with you, Nick. And despite my feelings about that, I'm still excited to, you know, catch up with the show, and yeah, they're really into ankles. Yeah. Yep, Patrick. That's funny. Anyway, Darth Nick, once again, with that said, my favorite Mando Season 3 episode, the Convert, still pales considerably in comparison to the best episodes of the Bad Batch Season 2. That's what I've heard. You know, it's funny. I've said this before. I feel like I see more people talking about Bad Batch on Twitter than I do The Mandalorian. And I found out yesterday at my fire station that one of the rookies is a huge Star Wars fan. And he was talking about the Bad Batch. And then I found out a guy that I've known for a year is a Star Wars fan, a big Star Wars fan. And him and his son watched the Bad Batch. Like, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, there's fellow Star Wars fans here. I didn't know this guy was a Star Wars fan. I've known this fucking guy for a year. So I need to watch the Bad Batch. I know I do. It's a shame that I haven't, but I have I have 32 episodes to catch up on. I'm never going to get around to that, man. That's so much TV to catch up on. That's so daunting. So daunting. Anyway, I appreciate that, Nick. Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much as well. Oscar says, what film would you put Jar Jar Binks in? I pick Men in Black. That is a good pick. That is a really good pick. Oh, man. I can't. I'm racking my brain right now. I honestly can't think of any other movie. Okay, let me sit up. Because Men in Black is, it for one, is in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. It hit me. I think it came out in 96. I was 10 years old, and it hit me in all the exact right places. The goofiness of it, the adventure of it, I don't know, the way it just made everything feel so grand. The universe feels so alive. It was so adventurous and fun and silly, you know. And I can't think, Oscar, honestly, I can't think of a better movie to pick than the one you just did. That's the perfect pick. Men in Black, Jar Jar Binks and the Men in Black. Because it would fit. It would fit. Like, there's a scene in Men in Black where there's a big screen where the Men in Black are monitoring aliens that are on planet Earth. And on that big screen is like Michael Jackson. And I think George Lucas is up there, right? George Lucas, Men in Black. Yeah, George Lucas is in there. And it would just fit perfectly. For sure. Yeah. Who else is in there? Newt Gingrich. Is that Al Roker? George Lucas, Steven Spielberg. I can't really tell who all the other people are. I'll have to look. Oh, Sylvester Stallone. It's funny. Yeah, Men in Black, man. Men in Black. You answered it for me. I appreciate that. Mr. Nick, once again, would you ever consider doing an Inside Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker video one day? Yeah, but the unfortunate reality to that is it would immediately get taken down for copyright. Like, for whatever reason, they've been pretty stingent lately with certain things. I did make, you probably never saw it, and nobody probably ever did unless you got lucky enough to see it, but I did make a Star Wars The Force Awakens, like an Inside Star Wars The Force Awakens video, and it was just as silly and goofy as the other ones, and poked fun at things, and it was just as dumb. And I uploaded it, and within 24 hours it was taken down. I still have it saved on my computer, but it got taken down for copyright like within 24 hours. So only a handful of people saw that. And if I made an Inside Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, I think that would be the case. Again, unfortunately. Maybe I should upload that Inside Star Wars The Force Awakens again just to see what happens. Oh my god. Let me see. I'm sure I still have it saved on this computer. If not, I have it on an external hard drive. The Force Awakens. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. No way. I haven't seen this in years.
Good to see you.
It's great to see you too, hon.
What's the problem?
Well, a bunch of people don't like The Force Awakens because they think it's too much like A New Hope.
First I've heard of it.
Well, it's the internet.
You know you can't trust those little freaks.
Hey, I didn't say that I agree with them.
Oh man, I don't like the way I talk in this.
Hey, Han, where are you going?
Oh man, I forgot. I'm gonna have to watch this. I might upload it and just see what happens. Whatever, who cares? Upload it to Patreon if YouTube won't let you keep it up. Oh, that's a good idea, Zio. Oh, what's up, Zio? Yeah, man, that's a really good idea. Can you post it to Twitter? Probably. Maybe I'll make it a Patreon exclusive. I haven't done anything on Patreon in a while. Oh my god. Let me see when this video is created. It's short. It's only like 5 minutes long. That's not right. It says 2018. 2000. Okay, so it was April 19th, 2016. That must be like right when the Blu-ray came out, because I had all the footage. Wow. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna do something with it. Anyway. Yeah. So Nick, maybe one day. Maybe one day. I want to do I'm making an Caravan of Courage Ewok video. And I am going to put myself in that movie a little bit here and there. Kind of like I did with Inside Star Wars. But it's going to be a review. It's going to be an Inside Star Wars style video. It's just going to be silly all over the place and super goofy. Super goofy. So I'm excited to start making that. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. Johnson, thank you so much. Good night, man. It was awesome chilling here with you. I'm probably gone when you read this, but I had a great time. Good night, everyone. Cheers, man. Cheers, Denmark. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for the support. And I greatly appreciate your viewership, man. And have a good night as well. And thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Cheers. Patrick Frazier. Patrick Frazier, thank you so much as well. Patrick says, to be honest, Mando's equals Elder Scrolls Orcs in space. Dude! Yeah! I've never understood, I mean, forever, not just nowadays, but forever. I've never understood the love and admiration that Mandalorians get. It's the same as like Klingons in Star Trek. I'm a huge The Next Generation fan. I love that show to my bones. But whenever there's a Klingon episode, whenever they're going to explore the culture of the Klingons, I don't give a shit. It's just so... you have to battle me for the dagger to... blah, blah, blah. You have to fight for my father's honor. Like, it's just the most generic warrior bullshit. And that's how I've always kind of felt with the Mandalorians. Like, they're... and it's gotten better. It used to be way more generic and just... than it is now. There's actually some nuance. These included, like, from the Clone Wars, basically. But, like before the Clone Wars and all that, they were always, they're still kind of generic, and I'm not a big fan of the lore and stuff like that, just because it is that, you know, fight for honor. Just, yeah, I don't know. You're right though, Patrick, 100%. That's a good example for sure, or a good comparison, rather. But yeah. Anyway, Pat, I appreciate that, man. Zio returns gaming. Good to see ya, man. Zio has returned. I have returned. This joke will never end. Please continue it. Dude, it's funny, man. Like, you're the one who said upload it to Patreon if YouTube won't let you. Okay, yeah, good. Thank you for the suggestion. I feel like have we ever talked? It's always Zio has returned, and I feel like it's radio silence after that, which is a funny bit in itself, for sure. But hell yeah, Zio. Thanks for returning, man. I feel like it's been a while. I appreciate that support. And solid idea to upload it to Patreon. I might do that after this stream. I'm assuming Patreon. I might do that right now. Let me log into Patreon. I don't even know how many people I have on there. Probably not many because I don't, honestly, like, I don't really do much stuff on Patreon. Unfortunately, it's just it's a factor of not having any time to do anything. Other than like a live stream and like a video once a month, you know. Let's see. Creator Patreon. Okay. Create. 46 patrons. Let me see. Create video. Can I upload a video? Select video. All right. All right, I'm going to do it. The Force Awakens. Where the hell did it just go? There we go. Uploading. Inside Star Wars. The Force Awakens. Alright, so I don't even remember what was in this video, guys. It's only like 4 minutes long. I'm sure it's really stupid. I'm sure it's not nearly as good as my early Inside Star Wars videos. In fact, I know it's not. But I'm going to upload it to Patreon. Right after this stream. Patreon is processing the video. And it's going to go up. So, anyway. Cheers. Oscar, Swish, A3, and Nick, thank you guys so much. Oscar says, Din reminds me of Roland from the Dark Tower books. I've never read the Dark Tower stuff. I've always wanted to read the Stephen King books. Didn't they make a Dark Tower movie? 2017. Oh, wow, that's older than I thought it was. What does it have on Rotten Tomatoes? A 15%. I'm not going to be watching that anytime soon, ever. I'm sure the book is fantastic. I've actually never read a Stephen King book, Oscar. Ever. I've always wanted to. Every year around Halloween, I'm always like, you know what? I'm going to read a scary book. You know, I'm going to take a break from my normal sci-fi or history reading. I'm going to read a scary book. I'm going to read a Stephen King book. And every year, without fail, I fail. Without fail, I fail. And I end up not reading one. I don't know what like Stephen King, but I don't think The Dark Tower is like a good one to read during Halloween. Like, it's not a scary book, is it? The one that I always wanted to read was what was it? I don't think it was anything like it wasn't made into a movie. Oh, The Stand. I've always wanted to read The Stand. That's the one that's always kind of piqued my interest, and I've never read it. I need to. I'm looking at it right now. I need to read it. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to read it. Anybody read The Stand? Would they recommend it? Anyway, I appreciate that, Oscar. Cheers, man. No, I've never played Halo. Well, the only time I've ever played a Halo game was when I was in middle school. The very first Halo game that came out on the very first Xbox. And the only time I ever played it was at my friend's house because he had the game. And we played couch multiplayer. So like the only time I've ever played a Halo game was in middle school, whenever the first Xbox came out. What was that, like 2000? Maybe 99, 2000, something like that. On my friend's couch, 1v1 multiplayer. I've never even played the single player. So, yeah. I know it's out on the PC now. But yeah, maybe one day. Again, I don't have time for shit. It's really hard to find the time. Yeah, anyway. I appreciate that. Swish Fish sending love to my trans sister. Hard week for him. Yeah. It's yeah, sending love as well. I don't know what to say further. Maybe this isn't the way to be, but and I think it drives my wife nuts, but I don't really pay attention to the news at all. I feel like I see, like, let me try to explain this. Without seeming dramatic, let me explain this. I avoid bad news because so much of what I see in my job is bad and horrible and disgusting and terrifying that I see enough bad news at work. When I come home, I want to watch happy stuff, and I want to filter out all the horrible shit in the world. So, whenever something happens, whenever some horrible tragedy happens, I tend to bury my head. Because I don't want to pay attention to more horrible shit. Does that make sense? It's not really a conscious decision. It's more of maybe it's a way to filter out. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It's really hard to explain. I don't know. It's really hard to explain. Sometimes my wife will be like, "Did you hear about such and such earthquake?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't hear about it." And she's like, "How did you not hear about that?" And I'm like, I don't know. I just don't pay it. I choose not to really pay attention to much just because I don't want. It's like I can't. My when I go to work and see what I see, and then I come home, I don't want to hear about stuff like that. You know what I mean? And maybe that's not the right way to live, but maybe it's a defense mechanism. Maybe it's a healthy way to live. Who knows? Yeah. So. It's horrible. I don't know what else to say, man. Disgusting. Makes you sick. Especially as a parent. Yeah, you can't help but think, like, you know, when you send your... Yeah, that's why I say you can't help but to think. I was going to say, you know, you send your kid to school and it's always on your mind. But, like, that's why I choose almost to bury my head in the sand. And, again, that's probably not the right way to live, but, yeah. Anyway, yeah, certainly sending love, Swish, for sure. Anyway. A3 and Nick, thank you so much for the final super chats before I jet. A3 says, what's always stuck with me from Men in Black is when our galaxy and universe pans... dude, I already know what you're going to say. Yeah. When our galaxy and universe pans out at the end and it's just one of many marbles on an alien that aliens are playing with. Yes. That A3... That has stuck. That is such a fun, interesting goof. It's like the perfect meshing of, hey, audience, you're really tiny. You're really small. You're kind of insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Look at how vast this universe is. Hundreds of billions of galaxies with hundreds of billions of stars and incalculable amount of planets. Look at this, but we're going to make it fun. We're going to make some goofy-looking aliens playing marbles with your home. It's the perfect ending to that movie. It's absolutely perfect. That's always stuck with me as well, A3. That's one of many aspects, you know, why that movie it's in my top 10, and it will always be in my top 10. And again, a lot of it is because of nostalgia. Men in Black came out in 1996. I was 10 years old, and I could not stop watching it. It was just so fun, so adventurous, so grand, so interesting, and it, as goofy as it is, it's still a really interesting, fun movie. But I'm with you, A3. The second one did something similar. Wasn't it like a door? He opened a door and... And that door opened up into like a subway station with a bunch of other doors, right? Is that what it was? Something like that. But yeah, I'm with you, A3, for sure. I love that movie. It's one of the movies that I'm most excited to show my kid, my daughter. Just because it's such a fun movie. Yeah. Anyway. Men in Black, man. The best. And Mr. Darth Nicholas, once again, thank you so much for the generous super chats and channel support this evening. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. Wish I could say more. Wife is mid-job. So, yeah. Mr. Nick says, Senators, you want me to read this? Oh, I can't. There's no way. I can say,
Mr. Jar Binks. Okay, day. Used to say people gonna die? Senators. Dello Felagets. In response to the...
If I heard him say this, I could probably mimic it. I don't know how he says it, but...
In response...
It's not going to work. My throat's already getting dry. In response to the direct threat to the Republic,
Misa propose the Senate give immediately emergency powers to the Supreme Chancellor.
I'll get it right. I'll get it right.
Misa propose.
That didn't sound right. That sounded like Marriage. Princess Bride.
Misa. Misa proposed that the Senate give immediately emergency powers to the Supreme Chancellor.
That's not going to work. I got to practice that, man. An hour of the Jar Jar voice on a Jar Jar Binks live stream would be rough on the old vocal cords for sure. But I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. I feel like I've been saying that for 5 years. But yeah, dude.
Misa? Misa proposed that the Senate give immediately some...
I can't. All right, I'm done. All right, everybody. Hey, Nick, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. All right, guys. So yeah, we're gonna go downstairs. We're gonna watch the latest episodes of Succession. I think only one episode's out so far of the new season, right? I'm gonna pop some popcorn. It's very rare with my job that we have a night like this where I'm off tonight, I'm off tomorrow, my wife's off tonight, my wife's off tomorrow, and my daughter doesn't have school today or tomorrow. It's so like we have 2 full days together. And we don't have mornings very often where I'm home. So like to have a morning at home, you know, no alarm clock, waking up and making some coffee, laying in bed. I'm really looking forward to it. But anyway. All right, guys. I appreciate it. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. To everybody who super chatted this evening. Mr. Nick, A3, Swish, Fish, Oscar, Zio, Pat, Johnson, Super Michael, Brock, Wolfman, Sarah, Sauron, Ricky, Evans, Vince. I appreciate it, guys. And to everybody else who hung out in the chat and shot the shit, thanks for hanging out, man. I don't know the next time that I'll stream will be. I have no idea. Probably next week. Maybe Monday. I don't know. I'll see you when I see you. Cool? All right. Enjoy the rest of your morning, your afternoon, your evening, wherever you are on planet Earth. And I'll catch you on the flip side. See ya.